Hello everyone, how are you today? So today we're gonna talk about the human eye. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the human eye. This is just a basic introduction about it. It's just to get some of the structures going here. So here, let's say you have this thing. Oh, that's horrible. So let's say that you have here. This goes over like that, and there's a pump and there's going back like this. So let's say that's the sort of the human eye. Okay, so that is sort of the human eye. And so what's going to happen here is that we're going to discuss each of the structures. Okay, so first of all, here you have this thing that is here. This thing, this is called the cornea. Cornea. Here, the cornea. And that is the protective layer. So that is um, the protective layer in the that protects. It's like the first thing that you touch or that you see in an eye. Okay, so right after that, there's here these things, and this is called the iris. Iris. Now the iris is the muscle that controls the pupil, and the pupil is right here. So it's kind of open. Okay, so it's kind of like that. And the pupil here, the pupil, it lets light into the eyes. Okay, so it's very important here to analyze this. So here's your eye, here's your pupil, and or let's so the extent of that. So let's say here that this is your eye, this is your pupil, and this is your eye, and this is your pupil. Now, what is the difference here? Well, here there is dim light. Okay, why? Because it dilates. So you can see here your pupil dilates in order to let as much light into the eye. Okay, when there's not much light, your pupil dilates in order to see better, gets as much light into the eye. When there's bright light, your pupils get smaller to get as little light as possible into the eye. Okay, so that is this. Right after the eye, there is something kind of big and it's close. This is called the lens. Okay, now I recommend going and checking out clear images on Google because it's different than this, but this just gives a clear understanding of what follows each other, okay, and how it goes. So the lens reflects the light. So reflects the light. Okay, so why would it reflect the light? Well, it's very important to reflect the light in order to hit the retina. The retina is just that little structure over there. So the retina is where you register those information. Okay, so that's like the registration desk. So here, there's your retina. And right over here, there's, as you can see, like a small opening, this here. So this is where the fovea is. Fovea. And fovea is the place of extreme focus. Okay, extreme focus. That's where you want to see. So the light enters, goes through the lens, and then it deflects, goes through the fovea in order to see better, right? So in the retina, there are two things. You have the rods, okay, and you have the cones. You have the rods and you have the cones. Now, why there are different colors? Well, because the rods, they register black and white colors, plus peripheral vision. Okay, but your cornea, your cones register color. Okay, so here's where you see color, and in the fovea there are extreme numbers of cones that surround the fovea, so we could see better. So that is here. Now it's very important here to illustrate that there's a very important thing that is called, that runs over here, and that is how we see and makes us better understand and see things. That's the optic nerve. Optic nerve. And the optic nerve is here to register information to the brain. Now in the optic nerve, and before it starts, there's a point right here. Or you could use a different color here. So there's a point here, and this point is called the blind spot. Here, this is called the blind spot. So you literally can't see anything in here because that is where the optic nerve leaves the eye. So you can't see over that. Okay, so that's the end where you can see, and that's where the optic nerve travels. Now there's more depth into this, getting into the eye, but this is just a quick overview. And to help just illustrate, this is not an exact drawing. I encourage going to see real drawing on Google, but this is just to get understanding of what comes first and what follows, okay, and how the mechanisms work. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much and have a good day.